This is GCHS-TV News, live from Greenup County High School.
Good afternoon. This is GCHS-TV News. I'm Aaliyah Grayson.
And I'm Haley Howard.
We begin with today's top story as a key member of President Trump's camp is headed to jail. Roger Stone, a staunch ally of President Donald Trump, has been sentenced to 40 months in prison on his convictions for witness tampering and lying to Congress. Thursday's action in federal court comes amid Trump's unrelenting defense of his longtime confidant that has led a mini revolt inside the Justice Department and allegations the president has interfered in the case. Trump has denounced as a miscarriage of justice the initial recommendation by Justice Department prosecutors that Stone received at least 7 years in prison. Attorney General William Barr then backed off that recommendation, prompting 4 prosecutors to quit Stone's case. Stone chose not to address this at his sentencing.
Chinese health officials are expressing new optimism about a deadly virus, but it continues to bring new threats elsewhere. The latest front in the widening global fight against the COVID-19 emerged in Daegu, South Korea, whose 2.5 million residents were urged to stay inside wearing masks even indoors to stem further infection after 35 new cases were reported in the city and surrounding areas. Across the Yellow Sea at the virus's epicenter, China voiced confidence as a noticeably reduced number of new daily infections was recorded. But that came after the country again changed its method for how the cases are counted.
Victoria's Secret once defined sexy with its leggy supermodels prancing around in their bras and oversized angel wings. Now the company is being sold as women increasingly look for styles that more realistically fit their body type. The company's owner, L Brands, said Thursday that the private equity firm Sycamore Brands will buy 55% of Victoria's Secret for about $525 million. The Columbus, Ohio company will keep the remaining 45% stake. The selling price signifies a marked decline for a brand with hundreds of stores that booked about $7 billion in revenue last year. Shares of the company's owner, L Brands, slid 7% Thursday.
Checking in on Kentucky news. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear is pledging to speed up employment insurance claims by improving staffing at career centers around the state. Beshear announced Wednesday that the current staff have been retained into 12 centers to help people seeking unemployment insurance. Beshear says the previous administration removed customer service staff from the career centers and asked to email and call the request of benefits. Beshear said to his administration also plans to increase the staffing of the centers and start online chat option on the website.
A couple has died in a house fire in western Kentucky. Union County Coroner Stephen Schaus told news outlets that 86-year-old Joseph Sheffer and his wife, 81-year-old Joanne Sheffer, were killed when their home caught fire. A news release says the Union County Dispatch Center was notified early Tuesday that the home near Morganfield was fully involved. Henshaw Fire Chief Matt Williams said crews had to wait until the fire was partially under control to enter the home and remove the bodies. Williams said the cause and origin of the fire were still under investigation.
The Kentucky House has passed legislation to limit the out-of-pocket costs paid by many people relying on life-saving insulin. The bill cleared the House on a 92-0 vote Wednesday. It goes to the Senate. The measure would limit the out-of-pocket costs of hundreds of dollars per prescription for a 30-day insulin supply. That cap would apply to people with commercial health insurance plans. Insulin is used to keep people's blood sugars at a safe level. The bill's supporters say that in the past 14 years, the price of insulin has surged more than 550%.
The Boy Scouts of America face an uncertain future after filing for bankruptcy to deal with a mountain of sex abuse lawsuits. Some former Scouts are worried about the damage in the Boy Scouts' wholesome reputation. The organization hopes to set up a victims' compensation fund for potentially thousands of men who were molested as youngsters by the Scout leaders. But battles lie ahead over such things as access to internal Scout files, the deadline for filing claims, and whether local Scout councils can be forced to sell campgrounds or other assets.
On to entertainment news. Lieutenant General House Representative McMaster, President Donald Trump's second national security advisor, will have a book out April 28th. First announcement in the summer of 2018, Battlegrounds will focus on national security and foreign policy, including his contentious time with Trump. In announcing the release date Thursday, HarperCollins called Battlegrounds a groundbreaking reassessment in America's place in the world. McMaster clashed with Trump on the policy toward Russia, Iran, and elsewhere before being forced out March 2018. McMaster was written a previous book that has acclaimed Their Election of Duty, which sharply criticized the political leadership of the Vietnam War.
The redesigned Sonic the Hedgehog showed plenty of teeth at the box office, speeding to a $57 million debut. That sets a record, not accounting for inflation, for a video game adaptation. After withering criticism online, the film was postponed for 3 months to overhaul the design of its title character. Parasite saw one of the largest post-Oscar bumps in years following its Best Picture win. In its widest release yet, Bong Joon-ho's social satire grossed $5.5 million, an increase of 254% over the previous week. Last week's #1 film, Birds of Prey, followed up its limp debut by sliding to second place with $17.1 million.
Coming up, James Collier will take a look at the weather for the weekend, and Gavin Tussey will catch you up on the latest sports news. That's when we return on GCHS-TV News. Welcome back to GCHS-TV News. I'm Haley Howard.
And I'm Aaliyah Grayson.
Let's join James Collier in our Weather Center to take a look at what's in store for this week's weather.
Beautiful weather outside today, sunny skies, beautiful bluebird skies outside. Unfortunately, down to our south, a lot of snow. Kids would like to have that up this way. 2 to 3 inches down around the border of Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia. None of that making it up this way. We're going to see some cold conditions. Not going to have anything of the snow-like thing coming around this weekend. Let's take a look at our weather coming up tonight. Low of around 16 this evening. We'll have some clouds around the area. Some clearing late, heavy frost outside. Looking ahead at Friday, high of 28. We'll stay in the lows around 19 degrees. A lot of sun, filled skies, light winds around the area. Coming up Friday night, low of 19 degrees, mostly clear and cold. Put those cars away in the garage. It's going to be frosty. That'll do it for our check of this week's weather. We're back with GCHS-TV News with sports and Gavin Tussey. We'll return right after this.
61-67 win over Maysville St. Patrick. Rod Dryden went for 23 points and grabbed 12. Rod Dryden went for 23 points and grabbed 12 rebounds. Brady Nelson had 15 points and 8 assists. Brady Burchett netted 13. Griffin Keaton had 10. With the win, the Musketeers picked up its 20th season win since 16-17 campaign. Greenup welcomes Fleming County Friday night for its final regular season contest before playing host for the 63 district tournament beginning next Monday. Greenup plays Lewis County in the opening round on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. The girls tournament opens on Monday night at 6 p.m. Greenup plays Russell at 8 p.m. Girls championship is scheduled for Thursday night with the boys championship set for Friday. The Pittsburgh Pirates' Pablo Reyes has been suspended 80 games under the Major League Drug Program following a positive test for the performance enhancement drug Bolidin. He became the second player in 3 days suspended for Bolidin, which is sold under the brand name Equipas and is used commonly on horses. Houston pitcher Francis Martes also was suspended. Reyes is a 26-year-old outfielder and infielder who made his major league debut in September 2018 and hit 293 with 3 homers and 7 RBIs. He hit 203 with 2 homers and 19 RBIs for the Pirates last year. 5 former patients are alleging that late University of Michigan physicians sexually abused them during exams, with one accuser saying that Dr. Robert E. Anderson's actions over several decades made him a sexual predator. A spokesman acknowledged that some university employees were aware of accusations against the doctor prior to 2018, a complaint that led to a police investigation. More from GCH-TV News when we return in just a minute.
Finally today on GCHS News, a Northern Ireland 10-year-old achieved a Guinness World Record by weaving a loom band bracelet measuring nearly 6,292 feet long. Mark Millar, 10, of Brochet County, Antrim, said he started weaving his gargantuan bracelet from loom bands, elastic straps used by children to create necklaces, bracelets, and charms in October 2018. Millar decided to make a particularly long band, and his family decided to check to see if it was applicable for They enlisted the help of a family friend who was a servant in September 2018 to official Millar's bracelet, which had a total length of nearly 6,292 feet, enough to beat the previous record of nearly 3,573 feet set by a Welsh girl in 2016. The measurements were submitted to Guinness, and Millar received his official certificate this week. Millar said he is already thinking about his next project, an attempt to break the Guinness World Record for the world's longest paper chain. That will do it for GCHS-TV News.
Have a great afternoon, everyone.